Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And this morning, my friends, yet another amazing guest. We have Michelle, and she is a part-time physical therapist who is creating Instagram Reels and taking the skills she's learned here to grow her business within her target audience. We're going to learn about her strategies, her mindset, what she's done right, what she's would have done differently today. With that being said, my friends, let's jump right into things. Michelle, welcome to the show. Back to the show.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
You're so welcome. Last time you were on the show was back in May.
I
And
think so, 2 months
so,
ago, yeah.
yeah, welcome back. Where are you calling in from? New York State,
Mm,
correct?
yeah, New York.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Well, let's jump right into things. For those who don't know your story, tell us what motivated you to want to start with learning these skills and get into this in the first place.
Sure. I was a first-time mom. I became a mom, but prior to that, I was working as a physical therapist. I was working full-time before that. And then when I became a mom, that's when everything changed. Priorities kind of shifted, but we weren't prepared as we thought we were, financially. We weren't prepared. So I didn't have a choice but to come back after my maternity leave, which is 3 months after. So I went back to work. I was working 30 plus hours a week. It was tough, juggling having a baby and working full time. And my job is not like I'm sitting at a desk. It's a demanding job where I have to physically work with the patient. So it's tough coming back to work and then just not having that energy to be with your baby. So months passed by and I said, I can't do this. It's like it's too much. And so that's when I kind of started looking for other ways to make money. It's not like my job could let me work from home. It's really hard. So, and then, Instagram was just reading my mind, starting to see posts from other people online about how they're making money online by promoting products, selling digital products. And so I got curious and here we are. A year later, I'm here trying to build my own thing just like them.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. And people have been online making money promoting digital products as long as I've been on the internet, which is over 15 years now. And so, the good news is that most likely 15 years from now, we're going to still have a lot of people who are doing, if not more. I think tons of people are coming into this industry because they're seeing the power of making money online, selling digital products, either packaging their own information or selling somebody else's as an affiliate. And so it's just kind of interesting that you came on here just recently, and I've come on. I came on 15 years before, and things are still, actually, I would say the opportunities just as good or better as it's
Mhm.
ever been. And it's certainly never been easier to generate traffic and build an audience. And that's something that you've been focused on and are doing
Yeah,
amazingly well with. You've got,
it's really
quite
amazing.
an amazing audience on Instagram of 140,000 followers. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you've learned around audience building and traffic generation, starting with Instagram. Talk to us about, what have you done right, and when did things click for you?
Okay, so let's go back a little bit when I first started. So when I first got into this, I was told to do side hustle videos. To grow your account, to put yourself out there, which helped. I'm not gonna lie, it helped. It grew my account fast. But at some point when my videos went viral, I was so anxious all the time because I was attracting the wrong audience. I wasn't attracting the people that I want to talk to. And so I don't know, I think 2 months later on when my account went to 50K followers, I started strategizing, changing my content, and started on like targeting more the people that I want to talk with. So I started talking more about my experience, putting myself out there, my desires, my pain points. I really wanted to connect to the people, my target audience, so we could, I could help them more and kind of put this opportunity right in front of them. And so as soon as I did that, actually before that, I was so afraid that my account would stop growing because I stopped doing side hustle videos. I was so worried that it's not gonna grow anymore, that nobody's gonna see my reels or my posts, but it still was growing, and I was pleasantly surprised. And so in my head, I was like, okay, my content is working. People are seeing my content. People are engaging. I'm just gonna keep doing this. And so it was like a trial and error on what type of content that's working and that my people wants to see. And yeah, I realized that it's okay to put yourself out there. When you share your story, what you want, your desires, it's okay because people will relate to you. And I'm noticing more often that I'm getting more real conversations with people that are actually interested in building their own business and trying this stuff. And I love it. I love talking to people. And I thought I would always be that introverted person, but here I am. I'm doing lives now. People want to be coached by me, and it's amazing that I'm finding these people through the reels that I created. That I'm not following anyone. I'm getting ideas from other people, but I can create my own content and know that it's gonna work. If that makes sense. But this all goes to trial and error. Not all content that I create works, but there are other ones that are working. So sorry, Dave, I can't hear you.
How would you how
Okay.
would you describe, Michelle, the the approach that you're taking in terms of creating your own content, or or more original content? The side hustle videos that you were talking about, that you were creating before, were showing, if I understand correctly, showing people various different businesses that they could do, or side hustles they could try, uh,
Yes.
and giving brief tutorials or explanations about those various side hustles or businesses. But now you're transitioning into more long form conversations, or are you doing a lot of videos that are using B-roll with just text on screen? What are you
Mhm.
finding is working best to get views and grow your account? And then is there a different type of video, or is it the same, that works to connect deeper with the audience and get them reaching out?
So in my case, I do different kinds of content. Like there's educational, there's like storytelling. With my educational content, it always gets a lot of shares and a lot of views because it's educational. These are things that people don't know about, like companies that have affiliate programs, how can you make money with Amazon affiliate programs, stuff like that. But with the other content that I'm creating, which is like storytelling, when I'm telling people my story and how I got here and why I'm here, that gets more engagement for some reason. People are DMing me, commenting me, wanting to learn more. And so there's different kinds of content that works for me. And yeah, it's just a trial and error basis.
So, so the kind of business educational content that you create has a tendency to go more viral
Yeah.
and reach a wider audience. But the type of content that you create, where you tell more vulnerable parts of your story or give behind the scenes perspectives about what your life is like, those tend to get more comments and more engagement
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
people. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. So it's basically that when I'm creating storytelling content, I'm targeting more the people that I already have now, like my followers that are already following me.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. Um, did you have a video or two that went viral at a certain point, or are you trying to create videos that go viral? What's your kind of opinion or experience with going viral? And, whether that's something that people should try to do or not?
Ooh, this might be an unpopular opinion, but when you're growing an account as a beginner, I think you have to grow your account nevertheless, right? You have to gain followers. And side hustle videos work, but they have to be real and they have to be legit. And they will go viral if you create them in the right way and in the form of like it's more engaging and educational, but not more like clickbaity, right? Um, I think they're beneficial in the beginning, but as you grow your account, you have to start telling people what are you doing, what are you really doing, why are you here, how can you help them with what you're doing. So I think at some point at your growth in your account, you would have to make more content that are talking more about you and connecting more with your audience so you can build that trust, like, and know factor, right? And that's what we want, so we can tell them what we're here for and how we can help them with.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I think this is something that is important for everybody to hear and understand, which is that in your videos, you need to give people quick, bite-sized pieces of value.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
need to give them something they can sink their teeth in, that they can get real results with. You got to be, I think being valuable is something that's really important to understand. And there's a couple of different ways that you can be valuable. The first thing is you can educate them by giving them, if you're in, some sort of, if you're in the parenting niche, then giving your followers or potential followers specific things, for example, that you should do or say when your toddler is having a tantrum or a meltdown. How can you diffuse that situation? What are words that you can use? What are things that you can say? How should you respond to that specific situation? Then, in that piece of content doesn't need to include your story or anything about you. It just needs to be straight to the point, and it needs to have an actual tangible result or valuable nugget that somebody can take and apply. And even if they don't take it and use it right away, that knowledge is so empowering that they're going to follow you. And that's where a lot of your followers are going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have those followers, sharing the behind the scenes of your life by creating videos that give more parts about your story. Now, you can be talking in that video, or you can use text on screen. Either are acceptable and work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those type of videos help those followers to trust you more and to know, as you said a moment ago, make sense why you're actually doing this. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. And for them to relate to you, because that's the first base, right? You need to be relatable to them for them to trust you. And so for me, storytelling works well. Like when I tell my story, like, last year we were in this situation and then I did this and now I'm here and then now I could help you with this too. Something like that.
Now, are you talking in your videos?
Some of my videos that with storytelling are talking, and some are I started doing carousel, which did amazing. I was just telling my story. It's the same type of content that I did when I did the talking videos. So I to me, I think my audience like that content more than just posting a b-roll, but b-roll works well too.
Explain to everybody who doesn't know what you mean when you say carousel post.
Oh, so Carousel Post is a feature on Instagram where when you post multiple pictures of you with writings on it, and then people could just scroll to the side and then just keep reading on it. It's like a, let's say like a video, but there's like a, you hit post and then you could just read what's in it and then move on to the next picture and then to the next picture. It's great when you're telling a story about you, and it's also great when you're trying to educate people.
And when I essentially when you when you pick here on Instagram, when you pick post, is this where you're picking multiple different pictures?
Yes, yes, that's it. That's
So
it. Yes.
you'll say, "Hey, I want this picture, this picture, this
Yeah, it has,
picture, this picture."
right. Yeah, there's like a circle on top on there where you could click and then you can post multiple pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are essentially able to scroll through those pictures. As a matter of fact, this would be an example of one right here, right? You're
Yes. Yeah.
scrolling through
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of tells the story on each photo,
Exactly that. Yes.
or a next part of the story.
Yeah.
You can actually go to what I'm looking at right here is our legendary marketer page. You guys can look us up on Instagram at legendary marketer. That's the Instagram handle. And this post that's about 6 posts in is what I'm talking about. It says people tend to overestimate what they can do in 1 or 2 days. And then I swipe to the next picture, but underestimate what they can do in 6 months. Imagine all the great things you could do if you dedicate 6 months of focus rather than 1 to 2 days. Make sure to follow for more. And you can do this on a plain black screen. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be pretty, and it doesn't need to be have an image behind it or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We make some of these images in Canva, which
Mm-hmm.
is a free tool that anybody can use if you wanted to kind of spruce up your content and
Mm-hmm.
add a photo or something like that. But um, there's so many different ways to get this done. I showed on a training the other day how a lot of times if I want to create something, I'll just pull up a story, right? And then
Yeah.
I'll just hit create. I'll just hit create in the story, and then I'll type a bunch of stuff in, and then I'll just screenshot it, right? And then crop it into into what I want it to be, you
Yeah.
know. So
That's exactly what I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of you in terms of creating your content and getting it out are absolutely overthinking things and trying to make things look prettier than they need to be. Was there a time, Michelle, that you struggled with any overthinking or perfectionism? And what did you realize about your content? Did you realize, wow, it doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to be over edited, it doesn't need to be highly produced? Can you touch on that a little bit for us?
Of course. Yeah. All the time, by the way, all the time when I'm creating content. Um, so what I notice more is the reels or posts that I content that I create that I take that takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes to make, do well. I'm not overthinking. I just want to say what I want to say, put a little caption in there. If they want to learn more, do this. They go very, very well. I don't know why. And then the post that I spend hours on, like editing, I'm like, I'm so proud of this. It's gonna do well. And then there's like what, 1,000 views. It happens all the time. And so I'm just like, now I've gotten comfortable at like making a content right on the spot. And then I could just know what I'm going to say. It does get better. It does get better. But those reels that you don't pay attention to a lot, they go very, very well. And most of the time, these are like from you, your story. You're projecting yourself to others. To
Mhm.
me, that's what works well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's been the case for years and years. You know, you'll work on something, you'll be, as you said, oh, I'm so proud of this one. This one's going to do great.
Yeah.
They're going to love this. I've done such a great job. It's almost like going to the teacher, like, hey, look, aren't you proud of my project? And they go, B, or whatever, and just
Yeah.
people are the same way, man. I mean, and nowadays, I don't know what it is, but we have entered into a place to where the more ghetto, the more ratchet, the more basic, and almost like you threw the content,
Simple, yeah.
the
People
better
want
it's done.
simple. People want simple nowadays. Just like tell me what it is. Tell me what you want to say. Tell me what you want to do. Let's get into it. You know, I noticed that in my in my content, people just want to be directed. Just tell them one thing and then they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in God. You know, I think it has to do with our attention spans
Yeah.
nowadays too.
Yeah. Hmm.
You folks who are, you take 15 seconds to get into your video, you can't do that. You have to, that's why picture post and text on screen, where you're using B-roll in the background and just overlaying
Hmm.
text over the screen. That's why
Hmm.
those posts are working so well these days, because people feel like, oh, I can just read this real quick. I don't have to wait for you to get to the point.
Hmm. Yeah. Short form, yes.
People don't want to wait for you to get to the point. They have the attention span of a goldfish.
Mm.
They don't
Very
want to
short.
wait. They don't want to wait for you to get to the point. So you have to get to the point in your content.
You have
If
to
you're
hook them too.
and if you're talking in your video, it has to be less than a minute to a minute and a half.
Yeah.
No, all these long take up 15, 30, 45 seconds to warm up and say, people are gone. Is all it takes is the flick of a thumb
Hmm.
and they're scrolled on to something else.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody hears that just make it and post it.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on quantity over quality? How do you balance that, and how many posts are you making per day? Has that increased or decreased over time?
So, let's go back in the beginning again. I think this helps beginners too. So when I first started, I was posting 3 times a day. I was told to post 3 times a day, and boy, was I burned out. There's a lot of thinking. I wasn't good at batching then. I wasn't good at creating content like this, but I was posting 3 times a day, and it was tough. But you have to grind in the beginning. You have to put in the work. And then I did that for 2.5 months, I think 3 months, and then I kind of started slowing down. That's when, at that point, my account blew up already. I have few videos that are going viral. I still have one video that's going viral that I posted, I don't know, 3 months ago. It's so crazy. But now I lessen my posting to 1 or 2 times a day, but I try to make sure that they are valuable to my audience. Like people would want to read this. But then again, it's still trial and error. I'm still trying to see what works and what's not, but most of the time they work.
Yeah, I think nowadays one of the types of posts that are working the best are, number one, memes, and number two, and meme content can
Yeah.
be both pictures or it can be other people's videos where
Mm-hmm.
you just overlay a new caption on the video.
Mm-hmm.
The second type of meme is your own personal meme, right?
Yeah.
Where you have a picture of yourself, whether that be a static, just regular picture, or B-roll,
Yeah.
which tends to work, kind of give the post a little bit of life. You have a lot of these on your profile
Yeah.
where you're just, there's a little piece of B-roll right there of you doing something,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in your car or whatever, and then you have text on the B-roll. You're not even saying anything in the
Mm-hmm.
post. Are those the videos that you're finding have the ability to go more viral, get more views, and build your audience faster?
Yeah. The short ones with bite-sized pieces and then straight to the point caption.
How do you come up with your caption ideas?
Whew. You know what? Sean and Gwen's group was really helpful with that. They had this live training about caption writing and how you would connect that to what you're doing. So I've been practicing on that. I just related back to whatever piece of something, even though it's funny, I related back to why I'm doing this. Like I made a content I think, I don't even know, a few weeks ago about how how my bank account, it's a meme, like you said, it's a meme that I recreated on my own. Like how your bank account changes when you have a baby, and you're just like, you're showing people how the money goes down. And so I just related back to my story, and I'm like, do you see how expensive it is to have a baby? Now more than ever, you just kind of tell a story and why this is important. And if you want to know what I'm doing to have more, source of income to help me pay for my diapers and wipes, this is what I do. Comment this, and I'll send you my free beginner's guide. So it's kind of fun, learning about copywriting. And also, your copywriting and the blueprints are gold, gold, gold. And I wish I had paid attention to it before. It's gold, gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, copy is everything, and the copy has just kind of the way in which we use it is a little bit different nowadays,
Hmm.
because we're now using it on short form social media videos and making
Yeah.
our own memes and all this kind of stuff. But words sell. That's what I think a lot of people just overlook. It's like it's the words you use that
Hmm.
sell, whether
Yeah.
it's the words that you're saying out of your mouth or whether it's the words that you're typing on your post. It is the words that you're typing in your emails. It is the words that you're using that are selling.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, in order to learn how to, everybody wants to run to use AI and artificial intelligence these days and have somebody do or a robot do all the thinking for you. You got to understand the
Not the
blueprint
same.
of how persuasion works, because even know how to write persuasively, because if you don't really understand why things work.
Yeah.
And so understanding how to write persuasively is the one of the top high income skills that you'll ever learn.
Yeah.
And it's worth it to just take the time to learn and then practice. And as you're experiencing with writing captions on your videos and post, a lot of times the best piece of content is going to be a piece of content that you wrote because you know your audience and
Hmm.
you know how to relate to them and talk to them in a way that resonates with them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm really, really glad that so in terms of writing captions for your videos, what's one thing that if you could kind of encapsulate some of the training or some of the things that have resonated with you that you've practiced or learned, what would be a tip or two that you would give about writing captions for your video post or your meme video post that will help them to be more effective?
First of all, know your audience. Know why are they struggling. Why are they looking at your videos? You have to be, and don't use those general words like financial freedom, time freedom. It doesn't really make sense to them. I'm now realizing this. You have to be more specific. Why do they want time freedom? Why do they want financial freedom? Why do they want to make more money? You have to be specific on the struggles that they're experiencing, and you just gotta be straight to the point. No this and that. The benefit when you so I'm also noticing that when I'm talking about a product, let's say the course, when I'm talking about that, there's less engagement because I'm talking about the features of the product, like do this and do that. But when you talk about more of the benefits that you can learn from the product that they can use, I get more engagement. So it's more about like telling them the benefits, but in a way that's gonna make sense to them. So choosing your words wisely, and don't use general wordings.
Mm,
I
yeah.
hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. And, there's a lot of words that are just overused and watered down now, and they don't really hit as hard as they used to.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you said that. What do you think, if you could give somebody a tip around building their confidence, what's been something that you have done or that you would suggest to build somebody's confidence, whether that be on video or just overall executing in their business every day?
Practice, just practice. I spoke to this one person a while back. She was so scared of doing talking videos. Like she asked me, how do you do that? How do you get so, you know, be out there? And I said, I just practice. And so what I do is I write down what I want to say, sentence by sentence, and then I prop my phone up. I record the first sentence, and then take a deep breath, and then record the next one again until you finish the whole thing. And then watch the whole thing. If you don't like it, do it again. You gotta do it again. You gotta practice and practice and practice and show up. It gets better. It does get better. And but that's my number one tip. Just write the sentence. If you're talking, if you want to do a talking video, write the sentences, um, and then record it one by one, and then cut it, record it, cut it, record it until you finished it. And that worked for me in the beginning, and then now I just keep talking like I'm talking right now.
Yeah. And for a that's I just actually put a video out on my Instagram the other day talking about shooting video. And when you are shooting a video, don't stop recording. Now, you just gave it a, you can either stop and start and record each piece individually,
Mm-hmm.
but I love just recording the entire video and then I edit it right in CapCut. I mean, CapCut's app is so easy. You can also just then use the captions generator, which is so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's it's just makes it so, and you can even edit out your little oohs, ahs, and ums. If
Mm.
you're going to be doing those talking videos where you're talking, everybody, whether you are wanting or ready to talk in your video or not yet, and Michelle, I can hear you. I certainly encourage everybody to practice. You get better. You're never going to get good at something unless you do take the swings.
Yeah.
However, posting a B-roll meme video where you are just, filming yourself, 2 to 7 seconds of yourself doing something and then adding a caption over that is about the easiest damn way to create a freaking piece of marketing content that's
Yeah.
ever existed in the 15 years that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And we're just in this place right now on the internet where, people just want, I think one of the things that, the way this is working a lot nowadays is that, people will come across a piece of content that they like, that they think is funny or they think is interesting, and you'll earn their follow through that one
Mm-hmm.
piece of content. They're not
Yeah.
going to do a deep dive into your account and what you're doing right away. But if you can earn that follow through that interesting piece of content, you now are going to, they're going to keep seeing your content
Yeah.
because now they're following you. You then create stories. And I want to ask you about how you utilize your stories, because they're also going to see your stories coming up, and stories get a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
Stories, people really scroll through their stories on the top of the app. And it's a place that you can put a link in there to make it very easy for them to click and go and buy something or go opt into your funnel. And that's one of the most popular and effective ways that people are building an audience and turning that audience into clicks and cash.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your utilization of stories. How do you use it, and what would you add to what I just said?
Okay, so yeah, I agree. Stories are where the the money come in. So to me, I view stories as for your audience only, for the followers that you already have. Reels are for getting more followers, right? For putting yourself out there and getting more followers. Stories are where you kind of soft sell, like introduce what you're offering, but you can't just tell them to buy this and buy that and this is what I do and this is what you should do. You kind of have to warm them up and introduce them to what you're doing by like talking about what they're going through. So what I do is I kind of like I tell a story all the time. And I'm learning this now that maybe I'm a good storyteller. I don't know. But when I'm telling my story, how my day goes and like how I kind of sort of relate it to what I'm doing and my business and how this business is helping me even though I'm struggling with this. So that helps a lot. Um, and also like sometimes I would do more educational on my stories, like what does it how does affiliate marketing work, how can this help you, how can you turn your hobbies and interests into something that you can monetize with on social media. And I get a lot of engagement on those too. And then by the end of my story sequence, I called it sequence, I just have like a link. Oh, I have a free beginner's guide where I break down the steps that I took personally, and I wrote it down myself in this guide. You can grab it for free. And if you have any questions, just send me a DM. And so that's how I get most of my leads now from my stories, which is amazing because
Yeah.
I'm just educating. No, not like a whole piece of educational. It's just like bite-sized pieces, like you said. And then when I'm telling my story and how I could relate what I'm doing every single day to what my business is doing to my life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. And I love your soft sell story selling approach there in stories because they are called stories,
Yeah.
they are called stories, and they're
Mm-hmm.
really designed for you to be able to tell a story, uh,
Yeah.
and people kind of click through. Doesn't need to be long, can be short,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of slides, and
Mm-hmm.
then something of value, not a hard pitch, but a soft sell for them to go and get your download, opt into your funnel, you generate that lead. And then once they opt into your funnel, well, of course, they're going to come across your bridge page. They're going to see that you're recommending something else. This is what we teach inside of the fishing formula,
Yeah.
the breakdown of how to actually sell courses, coaching events, or do affiliate marketing. It's sort of all the same. You want to give something for free away in order to generate that lead. Uh, and what you'll notice for those of you who are listening is what we're doing here is we're kind of becoming omnipresent in front of our audience. We're trying to earn that follow. So now every time they come on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, wherever they're at, they're kind of seeing you everywhere all the time. We want to get them onto your email list so they're
Mm-hmm.
seeing your name in the email list. That familiarity breeds trust.
Yeah.
That creates trust.
Yeah.
So now the next step is we need to earn their purchase. And then
Mm-hmm.
once they've purchased something with you one time and that goes successfully, now you've really earned another level of trust where you then have a customer there, a buyer on your list who is going to be even more likely to buy something else from you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the whole process works. There's obviously details and setup and things along the way. There's a lot of fill in to those cracks there or in between the cracks, but that's kind of the high level overview of what we're doing here. And so, this has been extremely helpful for you to kind of go through this with me this morning and kind of
Sure. Yeah. I'm
step by
happy to.
step. People are kind of going crazy here, about the value from just this episode alone. And so, keep the love coming for Michelle in the comments so she can go back and read that after the show if you got value
Thank
out
you.
of this. What Before we end the show, I would like to ask this question occasionally. What have you learned about yourself throughout this journey? And has there even been something that you've realized over the past few months since the last time you were on the show?
Oh, a lot. More than just learning the skills. I'm learning a lot about myself and how what's the word? How I could put in so much in such a little amount of time that I have. That just for me to figure out something, I would put in the work every single day just to figure it out. And I never thought I could do that. Being a mom and I still work my part-time job, I still find the time. And I love that about me. And my confidence have grown so much. I mean, I wasn't talking like this. If you asked me to speak with you a year ago, I would have said no. But I'm here. I'm telling people what I'm doing. I'm doing lives now. I'm talking to people. I'm mentoring people, which is amazing. Definitely my confidence have grown. My skills have grown. I mean, the copywriting that we spoke about, the copywriting and the blueprints are amazing. The content creation and the 5-day challenge is amazing. They're very helpful. They've all helped me along the way. And so, yeah, it's been rewarding. It's been eye-opening to, with the potential that I didn't think I have. So it's an amazing journey building your own and trying to figure out what works for you and what you like and what you're truly passionate about.
For
So
sure.
thank
For
you.
sure. Well, congratulations on all your success and growth. And I can't wait to talk to you in another 3 months and see where you're at then. Keep coming back, keep teaching, keep doing your thing. Stay legendary, my friend. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for your time this morning. Okay. All right. See you later, Michelle.
See ya.
All right, my friends, you can find and follow Michelle over on Instagram at michelleM.official, michelleM.official. I'm also over on Instagram at David Sharpe _official, David Sharpe _official. Incredible episode, lots of value this morning. If you want to get started with the content, the training that Michelle alluded to and was talking about, you can go to legendarymarketer.com /enroll. legendarymarketer.com /enroll. I'm going to actually put that link down in the chat as well. So you can click that link and get started today, man. Don't wait, my friends. There's so much to do, so much to learn, so much for you to, to opportunity out there for all of us to take advantage of. Keep coming back to Wake Up Legendary and listening as well to these interviews. They are extraordinarily helpful in terms of just helping you to get an understanding of like the whole process. I'm going to put this link down in the chat as well. legendarymarketer.com /WUL will take you to our Facebook Messenger notification list where you'll get a notification at 10 a.m. Eastern time every weekday when we go live. Remember, we interview a brand new student every single day, 5 days a week here. I don't know of any other training company who does anything even remotely close to what we do here. We've done well over 1,000 episodes interviewing actual students, getting results, changing their life, learning these skills, growing their business. You can also go back and access all of those episodes right here on this page. You can also go to any of the major podcast platforms, type in Wake Up Legendary, and you'll get all the replays there, the audio version as well. So much value coming out of this community that it's just incredible, and we couldn't do it without you all. So thanks for being a part of the show, my friends. Your comments are so appreciated. We appreciate it. Our guests appreciate it. And my friends, with that being said, get out of here. Have a fantastic day. This is Dave Sharpe signing out. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Peace.